Welcome to the Be Dynamic podcast. We're here today with Carol Hatfield. Carol is a breast cancer survivor. She's a mother of two boys, and she married her sweetheart, Brooke, about 32 years ago. She works in natural resources and is 2 weeks from retiring. So I'm super jealous. So we welcome Carol. She's got a great story and is passionate about health and fitness and getting the best out of life and optimizing her life, which cancer may do to you. Isn't that true?
Yes, that's so
So
true.
I want to ask Carol, what a little bit about her story. What led you up to first making that decision to dive in head first? Give us a little background. Tell us what led you, well, to when we first met. We met what, about 8 months ago? 6 months
Yep.
ago?
Yeah, almost a year ago,
Was
actually.
it really that long?
Yeah,
Oh my
well,
gosh.
not quite. I think you're right. 8 months ago.
Maybe 8 months ago. So
Yeah.
just give us a little background of what
Okay.
led you up to when we first met, and then we'll dive in a little bit more.
Okay. So I had been working in a completely different town than where I'm living now, and loved my job, was doing great health-wise, I felt. And my son got married last June, and up until then, I was pretty active working out. And then all of a sudden, nothing was working. I started getting a lot of pain throughout my entire body. I put on like 10 to 15 pounds, it felt like overnight. Could not figure out what the heck was going on. And so I went to 5 doctors and they all wanted to put me on antidepressants. A lot of them would not put me on estrogen due to breast cancer. And they said a lot of me not having estrogen contributed to a lot of the pain in my body. And I was like, well, I know there's got to be something out there that's got to help with the pain so that I can continue to stay active. Because it was getting to the point where I literally, when I got out of bed, I could not hardly walk. So, I was scrolling through Instagram one day and this cute little tiny petite badass woman showed up. And I listened to her story and I thought, I just glued on to Maggie and I kept watching and watching. And I'm like, oh, do I sign up? Do I sign up? Because I've been through that. And I had just finished something beforehand, about a year ahead, before getting coached by Maggie. And I took a chance. I told my husband, we're going to do this because I'm gaining weight. I'm post-menopause now, and something's got to change. I'm miserable. So we signed up with Maggie, and she completely changed my life. And um, also, my husband's, he got an eye opener when she went through nutrition and exercise and how to do things. And we're still doing that, following everything that she has advised us to do. And it's changed our lives. And Maggie and I were having a conversation one day, and I was telling her that, I was losing some weight. My biggest thing was trying to gain muscle too, though. And I knew going as I was aging, wanted to be active for my grandkids and so I could go hunting with my sons and everything. And I couldn't because I was in so much pain. And she mentioned dynamic health. And I thought, oh, I don't know. Well, I did it. I did it, Maggie. I signed up and got assigned an advisor and did the blood panel. And holy cow, it was amazing. And now it's been, what, 2 months now, I think, since I've been on the Dynapack and all of my other supplements that the doctor advised me to go on or recommended me to go on. I feel like a completely new person. I am more active now. I hardly have any pain at all. It's diminishing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so thankful. There was a reason why our paths were meant to cross. And me and my husband go on this journey, but mostly for me. And I'm just so much full of energy and can do things that I didn't think I was going to be able to do again. And I love it. I am going forward here on this new journey.
That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy to hear. We didn't talk much before, so I
Yeah.
love that I'm hearing this now. And I like to do that because I sometimes I forget to ask questions that I want the audience to know because I already know them.
Uh,
So I'm glad I waited to hear how good you've been doing. So let's back up a little bit. When people first decide to work with dynamic, how did that first call go? Your discovery call. So you get online, you schedule your discovery call. How did that go and what topics did you discuss and what made you want to move forward?
well, it went great. Everyone is so helpful and so nice. And we just had a conversation. They asked me, what were the things that I was going through? What was I interested in? What were my goals? Yeah, it was just a very calming conversation. And I was looking forward to getting all my results and going over those. And I kind of had a hiccup with mine because Montana doesn't have the lab, blood lab that normally Dynamic Health uses. And that's okay because all of my stuff got sent to Mayo's Clinic and then back, and it came back just fine as we went over everything.
So that first conversation made you decide to move forward.
Yeah.
Um, did you feel like you were pressured or forced in any way to do certain things, or you just talked about your goals and
Yep.
they helped you realize that they could maybe help you moving forward?
Yes,
Did
for
you feel like
sure.
that's how that went?
Yeah, my biggest thing was just trying to get rid of pain. I just didn't want to be in pain anymore. It was like my hands, my feet, my everything in my body hurt so bad. And when we were talking, because I do have Hashimoto's, and it was like, well, is it Hashimoto's? Is it menopause? What is it? I'm going crazy. And so we talked a little bit about that. We talked about some things, some of the supplements that they felt could help me. Um, and that might have been in the second conversation, but I knew as soon as I completed that phone call, I knew right away I wanted to move forward with Dynamic Health because they were the first people, doctor and advisor, that like gave me hope. The other doctors, they were like, oh, well, we could give you this for your hot flashes, or we could put you on an antidepressant or this and that. And I was like, I don't want any other kind of medication. I just want the pain to go away. And that was the first time I had hope. And one of them, I'll just say the BP 157, I think is what we talked about the most. And it's been incredible. And
Good.
yeah,
Good.
so
Yes, and I wanted to get to that. I wanted to get to the specifics of what you're on. So hang tight to that because I want to
okay.
talk about that specifically. I think it's an important point to bring up at this time that many women either choose not to go on hormones or cannot, which
Mhm,
is your predicament because
mhm.
of breast cancer. Because
Yes.
that I know the first time you and I talked, I was like, oh, if we could
Yeah.
just get you on estrogen.
Yes.
And there's other options for women who either choose not to or who cannot.
Mhm,
And that this is the route you're taking. And you've had to do much more research,
mhm.
probably dig a lot deeper. You can't just throw a patch on and call it good. So
Yeah.
you've had to take another route to
Mhm.
filling and optimizing your health because your options are different than the average woman. So
Yes.
I think that is so important. And you were able to bring that up in your first conversation, and they were able to guide you in a different direction and help you be aware of your other options so you could feel hopeful.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
love that you were able to have that hope and think, oh, there are other options for me.
Absolutely. And that's what I hadn't had that before. And I knew there was stuff out there because like you said, I had been researching and I think I had asked you some questions and it was just really important for me to stay healthy and not be medicated on a bunch of stuff that really wasn't going to help. And so that was part of the conversation with Dynamic that they said we could go this route or we could go this route. They left it completely up to me. There was absolutely no pressure at all for me to go down one route or another. It was just like, here's what we think would be very helpful based on your blood panel. And even in the first call, the pre-call, it was yeah, it was meant to be. I'm just so thankful I took a chance and signed up.
Oh, I'm so happy. And tell me how, because they don't have a LabCorp, where you're in Montana.
Um,
So what did that process look like? Was it hard to get labs? How did you go about getting your labs done?
I just went down here to our local clinic. They had I had the copy of everything that needed to be done. Took it down there. They took all the blood samples, sent it to Mayo's, and then Mayo's, I think, sent everything back to the clinic, and then the clinic faxed it to Dynamic Health or through
Okay. So
or
you
whatever.
had to go through quite a process, but what was it difficult or did it go pretty smoothly?
It wasn't difficult. I had to redo one extra blood sample. Because of some mishap. I really don't know, but that's okay. I went back down, took it, and then I got the results pretty immediately. Got a message from Dynamic Health to set up a time, and it was great because it wasn't like rush, 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 rush. Oh, this, whatever. It was just like, oh, how are you doing? And this is every single blood test they went through and explained where everything should be from normal to, maximum. And Carol, you're low on this, low, low, whatever. And here's some things that we think you could try if that's what you want to do. Um, I just wanted it all. I was like, yes, I'm into
Give
this.
it
I'm
all to me. Well,
yes.
and you're someone who, I mean, you've been through cancer. So
Mhm,
you've met with a lot of doctors,
mhm,
gone over a lot of test results, lab results, and this is probably one of the first times in your life you felt like someone sat down with you and actually looked at you and spent time with you not being rushed. You felt like you could ask questions. That is
mhm.
so rare nowadays. I remember the first time I met with Dynamic, I kept saying, well, thank you. Well, I'm sorry to take up so much of your time. I kept apologizing that I was taking so much time. And they were like, no, you're okay. Like, let's
Yeah,
go over this because I
absolutely.
felt guilty for taking up so much of their time. But
Mhm,
that is one of their selling points that
mhm,
no, you get one-on-one care. We want to optimize your health.
mhm,
So I love that you felt that because
mhm.
it so many times we're just dismissed.
Yep.
And it's so nice to actually feel like someone's actually looking at you and then not only looking at your labs, but making sure they align with your goals and what they can do to take those labs and hit your goals.
Yes.
So that is so rare.
It is so rare. And the other thing is that it was an in-depth blood panel. I have never had that much blood taken and all the tests
Yes.
completed.
It's
No
like nine
doctor does that.
vials. Wasn't it nine? I think it's,
Yes.
yeah, and I think there's 130 maybe different tests they're doing.
Mm,
It's a comprehensive review for sure.
yes. And I had never had that done. And I knew kind of, just going through, because I get my blood tested for my thyroid and everything. But I mean, it was wholly complete.
Yeah.
I was just so impressed. And to be able to have the doctor go through each one and what it means and why it's this and where I should be or what's normal And then after that, it's going through and saying, well, here's this option and this option for you for this blood test and whatever. And it was, I don't know, I felt like I was there for hours because it was such a nice opportunity to talk to somebody that cared about women's health. And that's what I felt. I just kind of felt like in the past that um, I maybe, yeah, being dismissed or not understanding. And it's like, oh, this is a symptom here, take this, or the pushing of antidepressants was incredible. And it wasn't like that. It was they really do care. And they care about how you're feeling and your symptoms and to correct that. And the check-ins afterwards, it's like, how are you doing? Did you get your sample or your packets and did you get this and did you get that? And it was just amazing, an amazing experience that I will continue.
Oh, I love that so much. So let's talk about you. So you decided to hop on board some peptides. I know
Yes.
BPC 157 for sure. Anything else that you feel like sharing with us and what you've noticed the biggest change with and that you've really felt like has optimized your health?
So I'm taking the BP 157. I'm taking that orally. I chose to do that
Okay.
because of so much pain throughout my body.
Okay.
I think I had the option of doing an injectable,
Mhm.
but it was more um, like pinpointed, and I
Yeah.
didn't really have that. The other one, they put me on a cortisol manager,
Okay.
and that, I don't know. I am so used to running pretty high stress, and I think my cortisol from my work was pretty high, and I am feeling so much calmer. I just kind of let things roll off. I just am not making a big deal out of a lot of stuff. And so I'm attributing the cortisol manager to that,
Awesome.
which has really helped me. I think just the stress level and stuff. And then rather than going on the GLP, is
Hmm.
that I chose the berberine
So
and
managing blood sugar.
managing blood sugar because my insulin is high. And
And the
so,
fact they even tested your insulin, most people just go up blood sugar. So
yeah,
the fact that they test your insulin is magical
it
because that's
is.
where the truth happens. That's where you can
Yes,
really tell what's going on with your body. And they
yeah,
were able to direct you to help get that in check.
yes,
Love it.
yes. And probably when I get another, when we do a check-in and follow up, I'll have maybe some options if we don't feel that that's working
Yeah.
like I want it to work. It's so personable. What works for me may not work for another woman, and that's okay. And it's all individualized. And so I'm not trying to compare myself with anyone else. I just want everything focused on me and my health and how I feel. And they gave me the options. They wasn't like, oh yeah, you need to do this. So we're trying some things first, and if I choose to change on the follow-up, we can do that.
You can do that. You can tweak it. So
Yeah.
is the berberine and the what? Let's talk about the Dynapack. So
Okay.
they tested your levels and then
Hmm.
suggested different supplements like the berberine and anything
Yes.
else to put in your Dynapack. And then the Dynapack usually has a morning, like your breakfast
Yes.
little packet, and then your evening little packet, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so is the berberine part of your Dynapack?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. And so, yeah, so I have a morning. So when I get up in the morning, I take that little packet, and then I have an afternoon packet,
Oh.
and then I have a bedtime
Oh,
packet.
you have three for each. Oh, that is awesome. How
Yes.
specific that is for you, because that's completely different than what I do. I love that.
Yeah. So I love the fact that everything comes in a packet. And there's a couple things like the cortisol manager and the BP 157 come in a bottle. And it tells me they give very good instructions on how and when to take these supplements. And I just add them to my packet when I'm taking them. Um, Magnesium was a big thing also, and I am sleeping so much better. It's been a night and day difference. Literally, I that's exactly what I needed. And so I feel like a new person. I
I
really do.
Isn't it amazing when sleep is off, what it does to your life, and
Oh
then when
boy.
it's on, what it does to your life? And so the fact they were able to dial in and help you out with that, I'm sure the
Yeah.
magnesium's helping. The cortisol management, I'm sure
Yeah.
is helping. Just the fact you're in less pain is
Oh,
helping. And the
yes.
fact you've got the lifestyle pieces in order, because I know for a fact that you really were dialed in, getting your protein,
Mhm.
lowering your high glycemic
Yep.
foods, trying to manage your blood sugar even before you did this. So
Uh-huh.
you've got all those lifestyle pieces in place, and now you're just optimizing those.
Yep.
So good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
love that so much.
Yes, it's been really nice. And now we're working on my husband and he's looking into things and we're hoping that he's doing great after his broken foot. So he's getting back into things.
Good.
Yeah, and I'd really like him to go through the same thing that I did.
I think so. It's such a nice thing to do together.
Hmm.
And you just have that accountability
Hmm.
and especially because you both do have the same goals. You want to be active. You really
Yeah.
want, you guys live in Montana. You're out enjoying the wilderness,
Yeah.
hunting, doing
Yeah.
those things together.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's very it just makes it that much better for your relationship and your future
Yes.
mate to be on
Yeah.
the same page together.
Mhm.
So tell me, where do you see yourself in a year, in 20 years, and what steps are you taking specifically to make sure you're meeting your goals?
Um, well, in the future, I don't know, 20 years from now, we will have grandkids. I know that. And I don't think, our lifestyle is so active up here when we're outside all the time, doing something. And so I think as far as me and my husband, we're going to continue to be active as far as hiking, which is going to be great because we'll actually be able to do it. We're lifting weights. We have not stopped lifting weights since we completed our stuff with you, and we're getting stronger. We can see a huge difference, and I think that's really going to help us as we age. Um, just being healthier and having a healthier lifestyle when it comes to eating and crowding things out, as your words, crowding things out, and we don't miss any of that stuff. It's smooth sailing, I hope, right now. And yeah, we may have a dessert here and there or whatever, but we're learning to cook healthier desserts and treat ourselves here and there. But yeah, I think, Maggie, we're going to continue to be active and um, we see what our parents have gone through and how they've aged and didn't have the opportunities that we have now. And we've both said that, we want to have an active lifestyle and be able to take the grandkids on hikes and go see Glacier and all, the different backcountry that Montana has to offer. And we're looking forward to it.
And there's no reason you can't do that.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it. Yeah, we're both at the age where most people either start to kind of spiral downward or they just start living for that finale.
Yeah.
And I love that you're going for the grand finale.
Yes.
You're gonna have a blast in the second half. I love that.
Yeah, it's
Tell
going to
me,
be fun.
is there anything that you've learned that you were surprised about or that was shocking to you when you think back?
Um, Probably that. Well, obviously the nutrition. We always have eaten pretty healthy because we eat a lot of game meat and that. But it was a lot of the stuff that you taught us about nutrition, the seed oils and things that can pr make
More
Now,
inflammation.
more information. Sorry, I couldn't get that word out.
Yeah.
More inflammation, which was huge for me. But then being able to know, researching and knowing and understanding what dynamic health can provide as far as the peptides, and they're natural in our body. That was a huge surprise to me. And I'm actually educating some of my girlfriends
I love
on
that.
this, and they're questioning, well, what about this? And, do this. You should sign up for dynamic health and everything. But that was probably the biggest surprise because I had been told so many times over and over that there wasn't anything. In fact, I actually had a doctor tell me I inquired about peptides and the BP 157, and she completely dismissed it. And
Really.
so, yeah, it was a surprise, but it was just, oh my gosh, it was such a relief that there's people out there, a company and a coach that can help women going through things like myself and other women that are going through different things, that there is hope out there. And that was probably the biggest surprise to me.
I love that. And you kind of just answered my next question, but I would just, what's a message you'd like to leave women with information that you wished you would have known? And you kind of just said it,
Yeah.
but just that there's hope.
There's hope. And research, it's okay to do your own research. And if you come across something that you don't understand, people out there like Maggie or the doctors and advisors at Dynamic Health are there to help educate. I've learned so much, but really trying to even educate myself and do my own research because it's a new thing and people are really getting back into health and wanting to do things differently, more naturally, and not take all of these pills that who knows what the side effects would be. And that's what I love about it. So don't lose hope. There is hope out there because I found it.
Oh, I love that so much. Carol, thank you so much. I love that you're doing so well. I
Thank
love
you.
that you've taken initiative because you can't just sit by and just believe what any doctor's going to tell you. You knew there was more out there and you
Mhm.
went out and you found it.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I hope that that empowers other women to do
I
the
hope
same.
so. I hope so too. Yes, I encourage anyone to do the same thing because the answers are out there.
Oh, I love that you found them. Oh, I appreciate your words so much. It's so encouraging for other women.
Thanks, Maggie.